500 Open Tabs. I'm Hannah Hillam.
And I'm Kaveh Taherian. Welcome back to the show. Hannah, we had a good laugh before the show started, even though we don't usually do listener emails at the beginning of the episode.
Yeah, incredible.
But we did get an email. I'm not going to read the email, but I'm just going to say a couple episodes ago when I did the Kaveh the Blacksmith episode, I casually mentioned that Sarah had purchased me a gift for a blacksmithing class. Like a million years ago, and I had forgotten about it, and I had been convinced that it was essentially like gone and expired.
Yeah.
And then lo and behold, literally right before we start recording today, we get an email from a listener whose name's Cynthia, and apparently Cynthia clocked it right away because, as it turns out, Cynthia is what is Cynthia's title? An instructor and a board member at Adams Forge, which was indeed the company that Sarah got me the gift certificate for. And Cynthia's like, hey, dude, your shit's still good. It hasn't gone bad. If you want to drive out to Simi Valley, you can still take the class.
So good. It's just one of those like beautiful moments when you have a podcast and then somebody from like, I don't know, let's say that or
Adams Forge,
the Emperor Norton group was like, I'm the president. Right. Just stuff like that where you're like, how did you get here?
Yes. So apparently Cynthia is, like I said, a board member. So like now I've been put on the spot. I gotta basically go to this class now. I have no excuse. Maybe it could be something that I don't know. Maybe if you've got a little bit of money, you can spend some money. We can go take a blacksmithing class together.
I'd come down there in April.
That's true. Might be possible to do it if we're able to schedule it. But anyway, shout out to Cynthia. Shout out to Adams Forge. No one's getting paid for this, by the way. No. I just thought it was nice that that she reached out and let us know. And I'm looking forward to it. And I will eventually sign up for this class with or without Hannah if we're able to make it.
We got to do this. I want to learn how to blacksmith so bad.
Yeah, I was looking at, you can do a cheese knife is like one of the introductory classes. I want to do a cheese knife one, I think.
Excuse me? I want to make a cheese knife.
I think you can.
Stop.
With Adams Forge, based in Simi Valley, California. Please sign up now.
If you want a cheese knife.
Anyway, that cracked me up. Thank you.
Amazing.
Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you to people who... It's weird because you keep thinking about this as like, we joke about like tens of listeners, kind of to your point, though. You're like, oh, right, I guess more people listen to this than we think. And like people who do things that are interesting and cool, which is something that Hannah and I are always... You and I are always confused by this because we're like, why is everybody that listens to us so like thoughtful and interesting? We're not that.
Except we kind of are sometimes.
Whatever. Speak for yourself.
We put on a complete facade on this show. We're not actually like this. You can even ask Blake, who came to our table. We're so boring. We never talk.
Right.
This is all fake.
Poor Blake. Shout out Blake.
Blake. We never even talked about this.
That's right. Blake sat in on for your... Where did you go? You left.
Table. I left for like a while.
It was fun. I hung out with Blake. We were just shooting the shit.
Shout out to Blake. Blake sat in and like sold my stuff for me while I had to go from the table.
So Blake knows the tens of dollars that you make every time you do a convention. He can confirm.
But he can also confirm that none of this is a fake thing. It's just,
unfortunately not. This is not performative.
I think at one point you fell on the ground.
I collapsed on the ground at the end of the show, or was it in the middle of the show? I don't remember.
No, it was at the end. You had a jacket on and everything. You're ready to go. And you just laid on the ground. And Blake was like, okay, yeah, cool. And I'm like, sorry, dude. Even if you weren't here, this would be happening.
That was my obligatory rice emergency in the middle of a show, which always happens inevitably.
Oh, yeah, Blake got to see you slowly descend into a rice emergency. Wow.
It was true. Anyway, shout out to our fans. Thank you guys for listening. This sounds like a sign off, but I just wanted to say it at the top of the show because it was fresh in memory and I thought it was really funny.
You guys are great.
You guys are the best. And thank you for all your support. Anyway, if there's nothing else you wanted to discuss, should we go into my tab this week? I know that normally we would go into your tab because I just did mine last week. But this week, because I did a cliffhanger, we're going to have part 2 of Mike Diana, as you put out, the guy with 2 first names.
Yeah. Look, we can never trust them. But here's the thing. This is the first time that I've had to it was like a very difficult thing to keep myself from going to read about it.
Really?
I was like, I need to know everything about this, but I didn't.
Good job.
I just want you to know that you really got in my brain.
Something there,
Yeah. I need you to tell me, have I completely defended a murderer?
Let's see. Okay, so real quick, let's do part 2 of Mike Diana. And as the title might suggest, this is part 2 because there was a part 1. So if you haven't listened to the previous episode, you're definitely going to want to do that now.
You need the context for this, you guys.
Yes, very much so.
Don't listen to this unless you've listened to the first one.
Yes. Recap. So Mike Diana is an artist who grew up in the 70s and 80s, being exposed to entirely too many obscene things at way too young an age, and also went to Roman Catholic Church in Florida. And then he found out about child molesters in the church, so he started making horror movies and then his own comics, which led him to create, quote, the most offensive zine ever made, Boiled Angel, which by all accounts, he succeeded in doing so. By 1990, he's put out a few issues, and then the Gainesville student murders happen. Some of the bodies are mutilated, and one has the head cut off. By coincidence, some CHP officer in California pulls over someone with drugs and finds a copy of Boiled Angel in his possession. He thinks the images look familiar to the murders, sends the comic to the Gainesville Police Department. They take a look at it, and then they show up at Mike's door being like, you got to come with us. We need you to give us a blood sample because we think you're the guy.
Oh, man.
Okay, so at the time they showed up, Mike was just like hanging out with his mom in the front yard. I'm not clear what they were doing, just like having a lemonade or something.
Or just, hanging out with your mom. What else would you do?
And so the cops come and they're like, okay, is this you? They have the copy of Boiled Angel. They're like, we're going to need you to come with us. And then Mike immediately is just like, yeah, I'm not doing that.
he says no?
He just says, no, I'm not going to do that.
I mean, all of us want to do that. But like, I feel like if there's like a murder investigation, you'd be like, okay, I need to make sure I clear my...
Yeah.
So fascinating.
Thankfully, Mike's mom is there, right? And she weighs in. She pulls him aside and she tells him, like, listen, don't be an idiot. If you're not the killer, then you don't have shit to worry about. Just let them take their, like, whatever pound of flesh, and then you'll be back to drawing kids getting raped by dogs in no time. It's fine.
No problem.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I bet she did say that. She's a good mom. Remember the home movies they made of him like having her head
chopping her head off?
Like,
yes,
absolutely, I'll do that. Whatever you want.
She's like, whatever you want, sweetheart. Yeah. Wow. So she basically talks some sense into him and is like, okay, like just do this, and he relents. And he's like, well, mom says I have to give blood, so I don't really have a choice. And he goes in. They take his blood. They run it against the blood on the crime scene. And so I'm going to do this like an episode of Maury, right, where he comes and he's like,
okay,
Mike, Diana.
Just like Maury.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect imitation.
You are not the Gainesville killer.
Well, yeah, duh.
Yeah, and then the live studio audience is yelling, and Mike's running around the stage, and he's jumping up and down, and the victims' families are crying, and it's like, what?
I could see a new show called Cave where you just tell people they're not murderers.
I'm just going to tell everybody that they're the murderer just to bother them, regardless. I'm not even going to look at the DNA evidence. I'm just going to be like, yeah, you killed those people.
It's like some
obviously.
Televised Nuremberg-style trial.
You're all on trial for everything all the time. Yeah. No, he's not. He's not the killer. This guy is a weirdo who sits in his house and draws weird pictures all day long. He doesn't have time to go kill people.
If he was the killer, he wouldn't be drawing any of that.
Exactly.
I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. So you're from personal experience,
Yeah, I never draw.
And exactly. Yeah. Anyway, thankfully he's not the killer. We can all sort of breathe a sigh of relief, and it's fine.
Thank goodness.
And then Mike lives happily ever after, obviously. Right?
No, probably not.
Nope.
Okay, wait, remind me. How old is he when he gets accused of being the killer?
Let's see. This is 1990 and he's born in 60. So I think he's like 20, 21.
That is so young.
He's very young. He's barely old enough to like drink, I think. He's a child. He's basically a child at this point. So something much darker and sinister happens, I think.
Really? Than being accused of murder?
Yeah. So the detectives, they get together and they're like, look, we still got to solve this murder case, but we don't like this jerk off Diana. We don't like his jerk off face. And we certainly don't like this jerk off, quote unquote, art that he does. And he's already been a suspect in these murders. So what do? They kick his information out to the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office.
Great.
Right?
I see where this is going.
Then it goes to the state attorney's office and it gains some momentum. Spoiler alert. The judicial system puts the cart before the horse and they decide that they need to figure out a way to put this kid in jail.
What?
Yes.
Based just on this art?
Yes.
I'm so sad right now.
Yeah.
This is so wrong. Okay.
Enter a guy named Stuart Baggish, right? So
Stuart Baggish?
That's a real name.
I don't know. I don't know about that. It's like a Hobbit name right there.
That's right. It sounds like a Baggins, but he's a Baggish. This guy is far from being a Hobbit, trust me.
Oh, okay.
So old Stu, he's fresh out of law school and he's very interested in this case. And, he had just learned about like First Amendment stuff and obscenity, all these things. It's all sort of new in his memory. And I'm not clear who's coordinating with who or what's being discussed. But There was an undercover detective named Mike Tezus, I believe is Tezus, Tezus, Tezus.
These aren't real names.
Right.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ. Let's just call him Detective Mike, right? Because now we got
Detective
two Mikes.
Mike.
Detective Mike.
Oh, okay.
So Stuart Baggins, as you like to call him now,
it's
Stu
messing with me
Baggins.
because Stuart is my brother's name.
I know this, right? Pooh.
Pooert.
You get a Stu going. Anyway, Stu and Detective Mike, they have a conversation and they sort of come to an agreement. He goes, listen, from the law's point of view, legally, you can't just arrest this kid for having made a comic book before. Yeah. That's not grounds to take this kid in. You got to catch him in the act of sending you some new shit, right?
Okay.
So Mike Diana, meanwhile, had been working hard to finish issues 7 and 8 of Boiled Angel. Mm-hmm. And in the middle of working on I think to the point of where he's finished with it, he gets a letter in the mail from a fan named, quote, Mike Fiore. Mm-mm. And poor Mike Diana, he's never dealt with cops like ever. He doesn't understand that this is clearly a setup. Yeah. Right.
Also, it's the 90s. Like now we're like really trained on being like, by the way, you can get scammed so easily.
Yeah. Here, let me just send you a screenshot of the handwriting.
Okay.
Which the kind of person who would write a letter because they want a zine of like this kind of shit. This is not the handwriting that they're going to
have. Should I read it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Believe.
Oh, I'm sorry. This isn't the full letter. This is just a snippet of it.
Please send me a copy of Boiled Angel and other flyers you can. It's hard to find things to read because of people fucking with us. Here's the 3. Wow, that is hardcore. Right. You said the F word, Mr. Cop. Here's a $3 money order, like the copy said, to cover cost. Thanks, Mike Fiore. It's like, what do kids say?
Yeah, literally. He's like, like the copy said, to cover the cost of sending your obscene comic to me, a private citizen living in my residential domicile.
Doing normal things.
Yes. He's just like, I too hate, I don't know, the man.
Yeah, the man. They're always ruining our day, huh?
They're trying to mess everything up by arresting criminals and not getting paid enough.
Oh, wow.
See you at the local Antifa meeting. Right? He's doing a salute.
Aye. Captain. Mike Fiore also sounds like a made up. These are all made up names. Okay,
they're all made up sounding names. So Mike writes him back saying, quote, Dear Mike F., you're the first person from Largo to ask for Boiled Angel, so I hope you find it to be cool. Let me know what you think of them. Sincerely, Mike Diana.
Oh, ooh. See, that's how 20-year-olds write.
Right. Also, look at his handwriting, which I have to say is probably closer to mine.
Yeah,
so this is a guy who draws pictures for like
that is a 21-year-old's handwriting.
Yeah.
I love that handwriting. It's like cartoon. Yeah, it is like your handwriting. Weird.
It's very which, as we've established in previous episodes, is I am the Zodiac
killer,
basically, because of my handwriting, and so is Mike. Anyway, he writes him back, and so the first thing you're probably thinking is, This is what I thought. I don't know if you thought this. I was like, is this entrapment? I was like, because that's what it feels like.
That's what I was thinking. It's right. It has to be, right?
Apparently it's not, according to these attorneys, because he wasn't being tricked into doing something he'd never done before.
Oh, he was just, okay, that makes sense, because he's just doing what everyone else has done and asking for this zine.
Yes. Although there is a twist to this, which is that what he was doing was not illegal, right? Right. So it's one thing if they were like, hey, send me those drugs that you've been selling to everybody. Right. Okay. And he's like, okay, 1 drugs, please. Like put into the envelope and sent off. And he'd be like, thanks for the drugs. That's different. But
mail order drug business. But this is literally just a guy doing what most people who did zines would do.
Yes.
This is how zines are made.
Yep. But none of that mattered because they were trying to build a case. And at this point, the state of Florida had enough to file 3 charges against Mike Diana for obscenity.
Obscenity?
Yep.
Okay.
So it was publishing, distributing, and advertising. Those were the 3.
Is that like based in any like? Wait, this reminds me of a tab you've done before.
Does it?
Or I've done before about that Obscenity Act where they did this with Victoria Woodhull, the lady who ran for president.
That was yours.
Yeah, but they like some Southern guy was like, no, it was entrapment. Like, send me your newspaper. We're gonna arrest you for obscenity, or something crazy. And there was some big law. Anyway. Just making some links in my head.
Yeah. Thus began the trial of Mike Diana.
Oh, Mike. Ugh.
So they're trying to put this kid in jail for a minimum of 3 years.
Dude, sorry.
Yes, please.
Pedophiles go to jail for less time than that.
Pedophiles don't go to jail,
Sorry.
Hannah.
My bad. I'm sorry. How could I even forget? Pedophiles don't go to jail.
No.
I don't know. Rapists go to jail. No, they also don't go to jail.
Also don't go to jail. They become president.
Well, I have nothing to... Twice. I have nothing to compare this to because no evil people go to jail. Let's say, yeah. How about assault and battery? They go to jail for less time. I don't know.
I don't know.
Turns out I have no idea.
I don't know, Matt. I don't know what anything means anymore. But anyway, so they're basically like, okay, this is the ballpark of what they're trying to put him in jail for, is about 3 years. And of course, once the news gets wind of this case, forget it. Every, Tom, Dick, and Harry has shown up to the courthouse with signs of how awful he is. Religious people want him to be hung, but also saved. Because remember, he's drawing comics about child molesters and children who have been molested. So the logical extrapolation is that he's trying to make pornography for children. That is literally what they're thinking. Because it's a comic, that means he's making comics for kids.
The whole comics are for kids thing. Okay, it's just... Also, isn't this like the height of the Satanic Panic?
Yeah, I think Satanic Panic peaks in the 80s.
That was 80s.
So this is sort of like the hangover of it, right? You could say like it's 1990, so there's still some stuff like... it's like how before grunge comes along, there's still like a little bit of cock rock bands like in the early 90s. Yeah. So you can make an argument that Satanic Panic still is like hung over into this era. It's very much still fresh in people's memories. Yeah. They're very much worried about like what, again, I'm saying things like from 40 years ago as if it's not the exact same like nonsense that's happening now. But at that time, quote unquote, no, it's all the same shit. It happens over and over again. They think it's satanic. They think they're doing something for kids. Also, it's in Florida. Which, of course, if you read the news the past few years, it's the same bullshit that they keep trying to push on people over and over again because they think it's one thing, but it's actually something else entirely. Anyway, Mike, of course, on top of all of this, he's like this weirdo introverted guy who like wants to sit in his room and draw dementia shit. So it's like he's not comfortable with any of this. It's very obvious, right? Yeah. Forget the fact that he's like anybody who's sane would be uncomfortable at this. But this is also a person who's like, I don't think he likes attention in that way. Like this is a man who wants to sit in his room and draw the most deranged shit. He doesn't want to be on camera, like talking to people. He doesn't want to be asked about these things. He doesn't want to be confronted. He's already going to court.
Oh man, this is bad. This is. And
so I think the fact that he looks the way he does in terms of just being uncomfortable in his own skin in front of all this, awkward. It just makes it worse. I think. Oh. And actually, I think I haven't even shown you. You haven't even seen a picture of Mike.
I don't know what he looks like. Yeah.
He just looks like a weird surfer kid. Let me pull up an image for you from back in the day. There are some funny pictures of him that like photographers who became obsessed with his case made him do. But here's a couple of them. He just looks like obviously what he's drawing is not sweet, but he just kind of looks like, hey, I'm like a dorky California surfer looking guy from Florida.
Oh yeah. Oh my. Okay. Yeah. Oh, Mike. Oh no. Of course they're gonna. Oh, he's got like, you know who he looks like? My cousin.
Really? He looks like Jeff Spicoli in Fast Times at Ridgemont High. That's exactly what he looks like.
He looks like a combination of that and seriously one of my cousins. Like This guy looks like he could be. Wow. Yeah. He just looks like a surfer kid. 100%. Yeah. Not even like awkward. He just looks like a regular like early 90s like surf bum.
Yeah, he just sort of looks like a weird rock and roll-y type kid. Anyway, he's just like, anyway, so that's Mike. Meanwhile, let's not forget that the Diana family is also, they're not a family of means, right? These are working class people. Like, oh man, his dad, I think the reason they moved to Florida is because he bought like a convenience store or something. And that's basically what he's running all day long. And so they don't have lawyer money, right?
No,
they don't. It costs a lot of money to hire lawyers.
They have public defender money, which is nothing.
Which God bless the people who are public defenders, but they're overworked and like they don't get enough resources. It's not necessarily their fault. But lucky for Mike, the Comic Book Legal Defense Fund here's about him. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
The Comic Book Legal Defense Fund.
They're still around, right?
They are.
Are they? Don't they go to cons?
I don't remember. I can't even say if someone's at cons because all we do is we're trapped behind the table all day. I have no idea. Like literally, I want to
say they do.
Yes, I would think that they would go to most of them. I mean, if there's one place where they should be, it's definitely like those places. Yeah. But I can't say when. I don't remember, but I would be surprised if they weren't at like at least some of the major conventions. So this becomes a flagship case, which is exactly the reason that organizations like this exist in the first place.
Right.
But even then, there were a lot of dissenting voices being like, we're going to spend a bunch of money to defend like this asshole who draws kids getting raped by dogs. Like, what are we doing here?
Oh, no.
Which of course
even they were like, it's a little much, dude.
Yeah. Which, okay, like I get it. It's not a great look. But thankfully, the CBLDF understood that what was at stake, which is this is essentially going to be a First Amendment case.
Well, yeah.
Right. That's what this is about.
It's what, yeah, it's exactly. It's one of those things where it's like, if he can't say these things, then what's next? You know?
Exactly. The term that has been absolutely devoid of all meaning now because it's been used over and over and over and over again. So it like no longer means anything, but it's slippery slope, right? This is an actual, 100%. I would say this is an actual legitimate slippery slope case.
Smart for them to actually recognize that, even though they were just really uncomfortable.
Yes, exactly. And so they hire a lawyer named Luc Leroux, who I think that's his last name is Leroux. And he has this incredible thick mullet. It's like more lavish than it is trashy. And he's like, he rocks it.
There's a thin line between classy and trashy when it comes to mullets, because it's possible to look good with a mullet. Let's see this guy.
See if I can find a picture of him from back in the day.
Dude,
so I've seen clips of it.
Mullet.
It's like, it's luscious. It's not, it's like he still has a thick head of hair now.
Wow.
You can imagine, but I don't have a picture of him from back in the day.
I'll just imagine it. I'll imagine just a big, thick mullet.
And he's a pretty cool dude. I think he's an interesting cat. He's definitely, he gets what it is.
Like a jazz age performer?
He's an interesting cat, you know, playing like scat.
Are you playing an invisible instrument? Yeah, jazz.
Jazz, I
don't even know what that
man.
Instrument was. That was like a trumpet, but you had your hands all the way down here.
Listen,
like
I don't know how to jazz, okay? I'm not a jazzerciser or whatever it's called.
Jazz Fest, you know?
Jazz Fest 2026. This is him later, but you can still see incredible head of hair.
He has a great head of hair.
Imagine that as a mullet, but
yeah, he also has a piercing gaze that's just like,
he's intense.
He's intense. I like this guy. I want him on my side.
Yeah, me too. When I was looking,
I want to sit there and watch him defend me, but just look at the back of his mullet.
He's very, very authoritative, but not in a condescending way.
But in a cool way. In like, that's my friend's dad.
Yeah.
That we barely see, but when we do see him, he brings pizza.
Yeah, exactly. You know? He's looking out for us.
Yeah, he's cool.
So, on to the trial, right? So, how do you even determine what's obscene?
Oh no. What is art?
What is art? So there's a Supreme Court case, which Miller versus California, which resulted in a 3-part checklist that they called the Miller test that needed to be fulfilled in order to be deemed obscene.
Okay.
I
hate crap like this, but okay.
I mean, I'm curious as to as Woodhull, right? I wonder if this maybe led to something of this, like at some point, because this is the precedent, is the Miller test.
I see the Miller test.
I'm not sure. I'd be actually curious to see if like that ties into the Miller test specifically.
Yeah, I'm just gonna open a tab just so I have it for later.
Okay,
go.
Okay, so the questions are: 1, whether the average person applying contemporary community standards would find that the work taken as a whole appeals to the prurient interest, which basically means is this for sickos to get off on? Is sort of the basic premise of it,
we
right?
need to rewrite the law. We gotta rewrite this. This is the Taharian law rules. Do sickos make this for other sickos?
Yeah, are sickos jorking it to this? Number 2.
Okay.
Whether the work depicts or describes in any offensive way sexual conduct or excretory functions as specifically defined by applicable state law. Is there weird, pervy, poopy, shitty, sexy, illegal stuff? Okay.
That was number 2 of the Taharian law. What is it? The Taharian list?
I don't want this list to be affiliated with my name.
No, but this is the cooler one, the Taharian
Miller test. Yeah, the updated. Number 3, whether the work taken as a whole lacks serious literary, artistic, political, or scientific value. So, is it art? Is sort of
that's where it falls apart, because yes, you could argue that with literally anything.
Exactly. But
why am I getting so angry?
As you should. That's the whole point of this.
Stop trying to tell us what art is.
Yes.
It's.
So right off the bat, we're kind of in trouble, right? Because number 1, you could argue that it's obviously, we know this, it's so insane and shocking that no sane person would ever be jorking to it. But these days, who knows?
No. I'm going to say I don't know that. Okay. Well, I don't know that.
Yeah.
The internet has shown me.
Yeah. What is it? I always forget the number. 37, 34. If
it exists, then people are jacking off to it.
Yeah. Or there's something. Porn of it, right?
There's porn of it. Yeah, that's way better than what I just said. the Hillam Rule 34.
I prefer to jack off to the idea of existence myself because I am an intellectual.
That gets you off? Gross.
Yes.
I'm I'm the
Anyway,
opposite.
it's pretty easy to prove number one, right? If you're on the not defense, what's it called? Oh my god,
Offense. No.
offense, right? The prosecution.
Yeah, I get
Yeah.
sports terms.
Number two, like Dadoy, right? It's like dog raping people
Yeah.
and like child like there's no,
Check
you're
mark.
out of luck.
Yep.
That one you can't argue.
No.
Dadoy, as you would say. But the third point
Oh.
is pretty obviously. I think it's not just for the sake of. I think that there is artistic
Yeah.
value to it. So that's no.
This commentary.
Yeah, but that's not the issue because you got to convince a jury of this, who once again are like pretty much obviously they're like his non-peers, right? Because that's what the defense is going to do. I'm sorry, that's what the prosecution is going to do.
Right.
It's going to be like a lot of older people who are like religious and have like, at most like missionary sex to them is probably like too much.
It's like, oh, getting a little spicy in here.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
And meanwhile,
I don't know though. Religious people are surprising.
that's true. There's some kinks going on. Meanwhile, the latest issue of Mike's got drawings, and this is true, of a priest holding the AIDS-infected blood of Christ with the caption "Priests fuck little boys" as the priest is doing just that.
Sorry, this is my raw reaction. Okay, I need a minute. Okay, so this was. Oh, I'm sorry, Mike's wife. Who is it? The wife we always talk about?
Oh, John's wife.
John's wife. I'm sorry, everyone's named Mike right now. To be
Yes, I mean to be fair, there's multiple people named Mike in this story, but yes,
this is wild. Yeah, it's a priest.
This
and
will
he's
not
doing
be on
just
the video.
that.
Yes.
No, this don't. You know what? Don't even look this up. I'm telling you right now. Don't look this up because if you do, you're going to be put on a list. But yeah, he's doing just that, and there is.
I just love AIDS-infected blood of Christ in the cup.
That AIDS infected up there. I love that.
And
okay.
It's a priest, and he's shitting,
priest.
Of course.
Oh, I always miss that part.
Yeah,
He's definitely
and his legs are cut off.
Yeah, it's just a torso.
No, technically.
Oh no, there's
his like upper legs are there, but like his calves are cut off.
Okay. Ooh, we're all humans on this earth, and we all experience things. And this is what one of us decides to do this. And that's anyway. Go on.
Yeah. So it's gonna be an uphill climb. This trial is gonna be uphill, right?
Yeah. Is this the first thing they show everybody?
So they actually do end up giving out the copy of, because it's the magazine that's in question. Sorry, the zine that's in question. So they see all this shit. There's no hiding it, right?
Imagine sitting in a courtroom and everyone's just like, here are his sketchbooks and here are his books and here's what he means by this and this and this, and you can't say anything. You just have to listen to them talk about it.
So, you clued into this. It's essentially the trial becomes about like, okay, well then what's art? What actually is art? What is the function of art? How do you determine what art is? And a lot like you said this on the last episode, the prosecution's sort of like, well, this isn't like the grapes of wrath or whatever. So it's not like life affirming and it doesn't make people feel good. So it's not art.
Triggered.
Yeah, that's exactly what they do. They're basically like art's made to make you feel good, or it's not like whatever.
They said in that class of mine.
So the defense brings in a lot of artists like Peter Cooper or some other people that I've never heard of, but these are like a lot of zine artists who are like working sort of on the outskirts of good taste and of like what's acceptable. But they're basically like, listen, dude, just turn on the television, right? You watch the news, you watch daytime TV. There's all kinds of messed up, horrific shit that we just casually talk about. The fact that this kid is putting it into a comic is effectively like no different. He's just reflecting the world back through this form that everybody else just seems to not even pay attention to or give any credence to.
Yeah.
And I think that that's sort of the point that I was making in the first episode, right, of this, is that like that's basically the argument. I think if society didn't exist like this and these kinds of things happen and we didn't try and sweep them under the rug, maybe you'd have a point. But no, this is it. Yeah.
But especially this, where it's like it's been swept under the rug for decades and decades and decades. Of course it's going to burst out.
Exactly.
In these kinds of ways. And also it's just like I said last time, it's like, how do you get somebody to notice and acknowledge something so violent and awful if you don't try to outdo it?
Exactly.
If they're not seeing it for what it is, then you have to push it further for people to notice.
Yeah, because people also become numb to it. You're just like,
Yeah.
oh well, child molesting or a priest
That's
molested
just
another child.
what they do.
That's just Tuesday. Oh, genocide. Another school, bunch of kids got bombed and killed. Oh well, whatever. It's like, how do
What?
you reach out? How do you get people like that to see how horrific the things are
Right.
that you're seeing? That's the
To
question, right?
actually come face to face with the horror of it all.
Yeah,
Because people, as we have seen over the last few years and over the last 20 years
yeah.
in our own lives, it's like people just decide to not look at things.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like if this gets somebody to look at something that's actually happening to somebody, then I don't think that's anyway. Oh, I've got a lot of opinions on this. Go on.
No, go ahead. That's the point of this episode is to
Oh
if you
yeah, I
have
always do
thoughts,
that.
go ahead.
I'm always like, anyway, shut up, Hannah, go on. And you're like, I
Yeah.
want you to talk. Yeah, no, it's just like I've thought a lot about after last episode. I was just like, yeah. So what do I feel like at the end of the day? That is what it is. It's like these are things that are happening, and if nobody talks about them, then they're going to keep happening. And even when people talk about them, nothing happened. So what else
Yeah.
are we going to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think for us it's pretty cut and dry, but I think for the people that were
Yeah.
in that courtroom and the jury and particularly the judge, Judge Fullerton, he's like, this is disgusting. He's already laying he's putting his thumb on the weight, right? He's like,
Guess what else is disgusting? Child molesters. Like, I don't.
listen, Hannah, according to, I don't know, 72 million voters of this country, that's not the case. It's not gross enough to disqualify somebody from becoming president.
I. How do I even respond to that?
There's
There
nothing
is
to
no
respond
response.
to.
There's no response. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I get it. All you want to do is scream and scream and scream until somebody acknowledges it, and
Yeah. Yeah.
and then when you do, they're like, "Ooh, it's improper.
Oh, that's-
You're
yeah.
making everybody uncomfortable. You're ruining the family dinner, Hannah."
You're being political to the point where, like, Leroux, the cool lawyer, would you call him, your friend's dad, who like brings everybody pizza?
Brings pizza, but is
Yeah.
never. He's a workaholic, but when he does come home, he's like, "Pizza," and everyone's
Pizza
like,
for
"Your dad's the
everybody.
best."
Yeah,
And he's like, then he falls asleep on the couch while you guys are all like watching Nickelodeon or whatever.
yeah. You can get into the case itself, like the actual trial. I won't get too much into it, but these are essentially like the arguments that are being made. And so when Leroux goes to make his closing arguments, in the middle of his closing arguments, the Judge Fullerton, calls for a recess,
Huh?
and everyone's like, "What? What the shit?" He basically stopped the defense like midstream, and even the state, right? The prosecution was like, "That doesn't make sense." Like, okay, I guess.
Wow.
And I think the
okay.
point of this, the theory goes, the point of this is that like maybe Leroux was making a good case and the judge was like worried about it.
We
And
can't
so he
have this
basically-
happen.
we can't have him make a logical point. So he needs to stop in the middle of it so that the jury doesn't get like, convinced.
Wow.
That's all speculation, of course. But I did think it was interesting that even the actual, the prosecution themselves were like, this is highly irregular and like,
Yeah.
not normal and not
Like,
what you
what's
do in a
going on
court
here?
case. Yeah, they weren't like he
Yeah.
correctly stopped him in the middle of making his closing arguments because he was like, what?
Suspicious.
Yeah. And guess what?
What?
It took the jury less than 90 minutes to convict
Of course.
Mike Diana of obscenity.
Ugh, they just want to cut and dry. They want things to sound easy. They don't want to see the monsters are literally all around them, not some little artist, some kid who's drawing horrors he saw. It's like, they wanted him to be the murderer of all those people. And when he
Exactly.
wasn't, they're like, well, he has to be something.
Exactly.
'Cause
Yeah.
We can't face the actual fact that maybe we're the monsters.
I love it. Go off, as the kids would say.
Oh, I could and will probably more. What a bummer. What a bummer.
Yeah, and so what's interesting is this puts Mike in the history books as the only artist to ever be convicted of obscenity in the United States.
What? Really?
Yep. The only
Actually
artist
convicted.
actually convicted. He's the only one.
What? Even
Mike-
since, like, in history, nothing
In
else
history.
after, before or after. Whoa.
Last I checked, Mike
Should we
Diana.
become the second and third? I don't know if we can outdo this, but I think we could try.
I mean, the only silver lining in terms of like us becoming the next convicted artist the next obscenity convicted artist is that the bar is going to be much lower
Yeah.
with how horrific everything's becoming. Pretty soon it'll just be like, he said kids shouldn't get bombed and then I get thrown to jail for it.
They're like, oh, how dare you?
Yeah, exactly.
Think of the PTSD that the oppressors are facing.
It's true. You have to consider everyone's
You have
feelings. Yeah.
I was gonna
Go
say,
ahead.
never forget, what did we draw? Ass tits.
Ass tits.
Never forget ass tits. And that we
Ass
sold
tits.
that to a person.
We did. It
And
was
everyone
incredible.
can just fill in what we're saying because it's exactly,
It's exactly what it was.
what you think it is.
It was ass tits. It was butt cheeks with nipples on them.
Yeah.
It was an incredible masterpiece.
We both worked on it, and it was our beautiful masterpiece, and we sold it. So
it was a hard day to part ways with that, but
kind of was.
Mike
I got
Diana would have
attached
loved
to
that.
it.
He would have loved that piece.
I think he would have.
Yeah.
This is for
And
Mike.
he would have come in and been like, there's not enough shit coming out of the
Yeah,
butthole
why
like
isn't
you
this
should.
butt,
He's like,
like,
why?
pooping?
That's like, if he ever becomes an art teacher, that's everything. It's just like, why isn't the butt shitting? The butt
Why
should
are
be
their
shitting.
legs attached to this
Always be shitting. ABS.
ABS.
Yes.
Abs.
Anyway, moving on. So this is honestly, this is a huge blow to free speech. It's terrible.
Yeah. Oh.
So first, Mike gets taken to the maximum detention center for 48 hours.
Why?
Right?
Okay.
Because this is it. This is what they can do.
He might draw a picture, put him in the maximum.
Literally, yes. That's it. That's the extent of it.
He might put a mirror to society.
Yeah. And then for 4 days at a lesser intense prison after that, because they're waiting to hear back about sentencing, right? So it's like a good week where he's like in jail. And then they bring him back for sentencing. You ready for all this?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. It's a long list. First off, you got 3 years probation. Okay.
Okay.
Number
so what?
2.
Some probation officer just says, "Are you drawing dicks?" And that's it.
Just wait. Yes. So 3 years of probation, a $3,000 fine.
Okay.
First of all, yeah, there's that. A state mandated psychiatric evaluation of himself that he would have to pay for out of his own pocket, which would have been about another $1,200.
Why would it be out of his own pocket? I don't get it. Why?
I don't understand why any of this makes sense.
I hate this so much. I'm so angry right now.
It keeps going. 1,200 hours of community service.
Okay.
He was forced to get a 40-hour-a-week job for some reason.
To make him respectable or whatever? To like get a real job?
I don't know. Oh, I should say this up top is like they put him in jail for the week, but because the case got bigger, they were like, we can't really put him in jail for 3 years because they're just going to keep doing this. So like we have to punish him instead.
Wow. What?
Anyway, so it's 40-hour-a-week job for some reason, which hilarious because back then you could probably just go get a 40-hour a week job, but whatever. That's
right now
neither
I'm
here
like,
nor
how
there.
would I go and get a 40-hour?
I can't even do that now. Yeah, and I've done nothing
if you can find
criminal.
me one, I'll do it. That'd be great.
He had to take and pass a journalism ethics course.
Well,
I don't know, dude. He had to keep 10 feet away from anyone under the age of 18 because, of course, that's going to be the first thing that they do. Yeah.
Did they put him on? Oh, no. Oh, did they put him on the registry?
I don't think they put him on the registry. I'm not sure. I didn't see that if they did. I'm not going to say no, but I don't think that they put him on the registry.
Okay.
And last but not least, he was forbidden to draw anything that might be considered obscene, even for his own personal use in the privacy of his own home.
Huh?
So what you were saying earlier of like a cop's going to show up to your house and see if you're drawing dicks, that's literally what they did.
What an amazing use of public funds to make sure if someone isn't. I feel like I'm in school again. It's like, oh, put that away. Don't draw. Like, come on. Except it's a cop and like I have to pay a bunch of money.
This was true. They did this. He was legally not allowed to do it. So at any point, the cops could just come to his home. Literally, no, they could just go through and just be like, "Are you drawing pictures of dicks? Sorry, straight to jail. You're in violation of your parole or whatever."
The amount of things I would draw happening to that parole officer for them to just look at that aren't quote unquote obscene.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd find a way around it.
It's just incredibly ACAB. This is one of the most ACAB things I've heard. Like this is just
if
insanity.
I were that cop, I'd be like, I'm actually not going to do this. This is a huge waste of my time. Okay.
Unbelievable overreach. But, I guess, thankfully, it sounds weird to say this because I don't like this, but like states' rights are good in this case because Mike is basically like, oh, okay, they're appealing his case. And he just moves back to New York.
There we go.
Without telling anybody.
Perfect.
Including his own lawyer.
Like, isn't that like super illegal? Like he can't go back to Florida now, right?
Can't go back to Florida. And they were like,
I think that's fine, right?
Yeah, in this case, wherever Mike was going in Florida, I don't think he wants to go back there. Yeah, and
Largo.
Florida's trying to be like, hey, like you've crossed state lines, like you need to. Yeah, and the state of New York's like, we're not sending a cop to see if Mike is drawing pictures of dicks. Like we have to stop murderers and shit. Like what are you talking about?
It's the 90s in New York City.
Yeah, we don't have time for this.
He can draw whatever he wants.
Yeah,
as long as like
we don't care. And the state of Florida is basically like, rats. We can't do shit. Like we can't do anything. Yeah.
Wow.
But if he ever sets foot back in Florida, he goes, straight to jail.
Yeah.
And kind of to your point, he's like, yeah, that's not going to be a problem for me.
Not going to go back to Florida.
I don't think I'm going to go.
Don't worry, guys.
And so the legend of Mike Diana builds, and so does the lore and the story. And eventually it gets to a point where some filmmakers are like, oh, you know what? This would make a great documentary.
It would.
And I believe that they fund it through Kickstarter.
Really? Oh, so it's
Yes.
recent.
Yeah.
Oh, this
And
is
it's
cool.
called Boiled Angels, The Trial of Mike Diana, which was, I didn't give the title away at the beginning of this, but
Yeah.
that's where a big chunk of this, of my research was from.
Of the documentary. How is the
Of the
documentary? Is it a good
documentary.
watch?
It's an excellent documentary.
Okay.
I actually highly recommend it because they do a very good job at like not just explaining Mike's case, they also give you context for comics like going all the way back to the 50s and the kind of
Ooh,
different scares of like, you know, here's how horror comics started and then like here's how they became for adults, and it does a good job tracking the lineage of sort of what makes Mike somebody that's part of this, you know, longer tradition.
Yeah.
They also interview, what did you call him? Stuart Baggins.
Stu Baggins.
Stu Baggins. They talk to him. He sort of explains his thinking on the case and what he's doing. They also interview this lady who was like one of the churchy, like trying to save him people.
Yeah.
Who is very convinced that Mike was molested, which is why he was drawing all this. And she's like, this is where I was coming from. And like, I thought it was like pretty interesting to see all of them. And this is like, they interviewed them, like, I think it came out in 2018. So this was like probably about 10 years ago that they were actually filming all of this.
Wow.
So it's interesting to see them all kind of look back at it later. I thought it was cool. The thing that's kind of interesting about it, to the point of what I was making earlier of Mike being somebody who's clearly like not very comfortable being on camera, is like they interview Mike, but I'm pretty sure, I have no proof of this. This is just my assessment of it looking at it. Like, I'm pretty sure that he's written out what he wants to say.
Yeah.
And then he's reading it to the camera. Like,
oh, yeah.
It doesn't sound like an interview that's like just talking to him. It's like him kind of reciting lines, because I feel like he probably had a lot of difficulty speaking on camera about this kind of stuff.
Understandably.
Yeah.
Doesn't come naturally to most people.
Yeah, exactly. And I think he was worried that he would clam up and stuff. But
yeah. Oh.
What's cool is that part of as part of the fundraising, again, I'm pretty sure it's through the Kickstarter is how it happened. I apologize if that's not it, if that was just an additional point to like get it distributed and to send out the Blu-rays, but I'm pretty sure it's the Kickstarter. Part of the funding from the documentary went towards paying off all of his legal fees.
Yes, he still had legal fees, of course.
Yeah, because like, you know, whatever, there's the $1,200 for this, the $2,000 for this $3,000 for that. So the people who made the documentary basically just made him whole. They paid off all that shit.
Wow.
So
good for them. That's awesome.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool.
That's legit. What a nice like wrong made right, as far as you can make it right. Wow.
So they film him in Florida, being like, oh, this is where the courthouse. I'm sorry, they filmed Mike Diana in Florida. He's like, this is where the courthouse was, or like, this is where I was drawing this, or like, they kind of take him to all these different locations that he hasn't been to in a long time, as he's talking about it. So this was a Kickstarted Blu-ray. It went out. It's not streaming anywhere. You can look for it on the internet. You can find it. I did find it.
Okay.
So I don't, but obviously I'm not anything.
I really want to watch. I want to watch that.
Yeah. I can. We won't put this in the notes or anything or in the show, but I'll send you the link later if you
I would love
to watch it.
Yeah.
But you know, this is weirdly kind of somewhat of a happy ending. It's like his stuff got cleared. The documentary came out. Mike's still going strong. He's drawing deranged shit.
He's still doing it. He's still drawing.
Yeah, you can go to his website if you dare to look at some of the new stuff he's drawing, along with prints and stuff.
You know, I do dare.
Yeah, I know you do, but I'm just saying in terms of
them. Oh, wow.
So yes, now you can go look at whatever Mike Diana stuff you want. Now that you know about the trial, I was just worried that you were going to go look at it in between and be like, what's the trial of Mike Diana?
Oh, he's awesome. Look at that. Oh, he's added so much neon to his stuff now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, this is so cool.
I mean, again, not for everybody.
Sorry. So good. I can't even say what I just saw.
Oh, right. Okay. I was going to tell you I found, let's see. Some of his, again, I will reiterate this with a severe trigger warning. You can find copies of Boiled Angel on archive.org. Oh, yeah.
There it is.
You can go see them if you wanted.
Yeah.
It is upsetting.
Okay. Why am I laughing so hard at this? I think I don't know what else to do. I'm good. I'm done. I'm done laughing.
There is a lot of terrible, horrific, racist, sexist, child molester, like getting killed. There's sex. There's all kinds of bad shit in it.
Yeah, I don't think people should go look at this
No,
necessarily, but it is there.
just so you guys know. What do they say? I'm not condoning what is
No.
therein. However, it is, as they say at the Nixon Museum, you can judge for yourself what happened.
Wait, they don't say that, do they?
They do that essentially at the end of the Nixon Library. They're like, what do you think? Do you think he did an illegal?
It's like, duh. What?
Yeah.
Oh, that is if that's not exactly America in a nutshell right there.
Oh, 100%.
I don't know what is. That was such a great story, and I'm really glad there was an actual happy ending-ish to it. Like,
Yeah.
well, all he lost was access to Florida, and I think he's fine.
And he doesn't even have that lost anymore. He can go back.
Oh, right. Exactly. Thank you.
So yeah, that's the story of Mike. Diana, did you have, I know you said you had a lot of thoughts. I don't want to put you on the spot if you don't have them specifically.
They're just all the same things that I think I just putting a lot of personal anger into it. And I personally spent my life being told what not to draw, only to realize that all those things I wasn't allowed to draw were actually what was going to heal me in the end.
Yeah.
And I was being protected from drawing something that would have actually ended up really helping me in the end. And so I see this and I'm like, just let him draw whatever he wants.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to look at it and don't have to give it to your kids. And if they find it, then that opens up like a discussion, I guess. I don't know. Maybe that's just me though. And I'm just maybe a little bit too open about this kind of stuff, but
no, I don't think there's a right answer for it. I think that's the whole point is like whatever you feel. I look at it as like a cautionary tale.
Yeah.
More in terms of, my perspective is obviously different than yours because it's rooted in a lot more about the way we live our lives online and what we choose to share and put online and what we choose to say to each other online and the kind of terrible shit that you and I and Alyssa, even like the kinds of shit that we text to each other, which is like by any metric, if no one knows what we're saying, is like horrific. Right. And most people I know have, I see a lot of jokes about this, about like if the group chat ever got leaked and it's like people getting arrested.
Yeah. Degenerate group chat is there for a reason. And
it's just, I think, what do they say? They're like, it's like, if consenting adults want to say the worst things imaginable to each other, that's their business, as long as they're not, if it's not meant to be like a public facing thing that other people should know. And you and your friend have an agreement. Like, I'm not going to tell you what you can say between friends because I don't understand the context and the history of your guys' friendship and whether or not you mean it or whatever.
Right.
And I think if they can do it to somebody like this in the 90s, I think that we're all headed for the cliff. We're all driving off the cliff. I think the surveillance state of social media and the internet and everything happening online right now is only going to end poorly.
I agree. I think that's why this scares me so much, is because I see so much of this like on a larger scale happening now, where right now it's these quiet bannings or like for example, like I spent 2 years, all I did was repost stuff about Palestine and oh, poor me, I got completely shadow banned. It's nothing compared to other people and what they're going through. But it was interesting that I noticed it's like the second you do something that the people that are in charge of these sites don't like, they will quiet you. And for now, that's what it is. But what's it going to turn into? Literally anybody saying anything about anybody that they don't like?
I mean, they're certainly trying. The administration is literally trying to do that. They're trying to get rid of Section 213. Like they're trying to revoke a lot of these things about what you're allowed to say on the internet and what you're not allowed to say. So
that's just, I don't know. Like we're the canaries in the coal mine. Artists are throughout history. We go first when there's like, fascistic ways of thinking and stuff like that. The degenerate art or whatever the Nazis called it. Artists go first. And I'm not trying to say that, oh, poor me, but like I'm saying poor all of us.
Yeah, I think I didn't think you were saying poor me. I think that's what I took it as to what
I just didn't want to center my like, oh, I don't get many likes anymore because of what I said. It's like, no, this is widespread everywhere. And I don't know. This kind of thing freaks me out. It pisses me off at the same time because it's like you said, like we see these patterns and it's like so obvious. And I think it's obvious to us because we've been conditioned to be treated anyway like this. When art consumption becomes about the person who's consuming it and not the person who's making it, that's when we have a problem.
Beautifully put. I totally agree with that. I think that's the fundamental problem with a lot of stuff that we engage with these days. It's more about, perfectly said, it's more about the person consuming it than the person making it. And that's essentially
like, how could you do this to me? And it's like, you're consuming it.
Yeah.
You're looking at it. You go to a museum and get mad about what's in the museum? That's on you. That's you problem.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Hannah, I need you
one.
to control your feelings and only podcast about positive things that you're happy,
I
that make people happy. Okay, enough.
oh tear it all down.
He's had a bunch of shows too. I think I forgot to mention this. Like he's gone on to do well for himself. He's had shows in like, big cities.
Yeah.
There's like one of his books was sold like in the MoMA. There's like there's a clip of it.
It's
and
always
stuff.
how it goes. Now I'm mad again. This is always how it goes. You go from like all of a sudden all these prissy fancy people are like, oh, he was convicted and he was wronged, and now we're gonna care about everything he does.
Yeah.
Okay.
After the fact.
After all the suffering is done, then it's safe to let somebody into the MoMA. Anyway, should we do listener mail? Oh wait, no, we gotta close
my tab first. Yeah, that's my tab on Mike Diana. Thank you for listening.
Can we close it to just a scream of rage?
Sure, let's do it.
Look, Alyssa, we're gonna scream this tab out of our existence.
You want to count
me
me down?
Ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Ah!
Get closed tab. Okay, listener mail. Woo. Okay, this is
You gonna make it?
Sure. I don't know. Yeah, I'm good. I feel of righteous anger right now.
Okay.
This is from Jen from New Jersey. I love the alliteration. Nico from Riverside. Oh wait, no. Why did I say Nico from Riverside? Because that's
Casey
not
from Colorado.
Casey from Colorado. Jen from Rivers. Nope.
Jen from Riverside.
Jen. All of our listeners are from Riverside. Okay. Jen from New Jersey. Hello, Kaveh and Hannah. I've always liked old comics. My dad loves classic newspaper comics and got collected book versions of many of them. There are many I can talk about and have gone down rabbit holes for, like Little Orphan Annie. That comic strip has a surprisingly high kill count of named characters. I am not joking.
I didn't know that.
There is even a time when Annie nearly kills a man that tried to kill Sandy with his car.
But
that is a tale and a tab for another time. My favorite in terms of art style, setting, and storylines, minus the obvious, oh yeah, this comic was written by a white dude in 1938 moments, is Prince Valiant. Do you remember Prince Valiant?
I know, but I never read it though.
Me neither. I was like, this isn't funny. I'm bored. Prince Valiant, created by Hal Foster in 1938, is an epic knights comic set in King Arthur setting. Cool stories, detailed art style, and unique panel work. All narration, no speech bubbles in its history, save for one instance. This comic has been handed down from creative team to creative team and is still ongoing in the newspaper today.
Oh, it is.
Last time I kept up with it, it had some really great storylines going on, without the bits that did not age well, thankfully. But in April 20th, 2014, it broke tradition. Traditionally, it was considered improper in comics to show men with nipples.
Sorry, until
2014.
You shitting me?
I picked this one because it is such a juxtaposition from Mike Diana.
Hold on.
Mike Diana and
I swear I've seen shirtless Wolverine. It was like
he doesn't have
naked.
nipples. He doesn't have nipples. None of them have nipples.
No, hold on. That can't be real.
Okay, let's find out.
So,
you just went into like crazy old man mode. Hang on.
No, I'm looking at Weapon X by Barry Windsor Smith. I'm seeing tiny nipples.
Okay.
They're not
so maybe
big.
It's just,
the areolas aren't huge, but they're there.
I think it was allowed, but I don't think it was good for newspaper comics didn't do it.
Oh, newspaper comics. Okay.
That's what I'm getting from this. Is that
you're right?
Just
that would make more sense. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, it was considered improper, so it wasn't illegal. It was just improper. But now in our less scandalized society, the chest can be seen in its full glory. Thanks to Thomas Yeats, both Valiant and the other guys can be shown, uncensored. Here's the link to the blog that goes into more depth on old newspaper comic censorship and has some more examples. Hopefully this did not run too long. I got really inspired from your episode focused on comics and the process of creating comics. Thank you both for keeping me company during work and for inspiring me to be creative. From Jen, lady of the distant land called New Jersey.
Wait, when did we do an episode about creating comic? I don't remember.
I knew you were going to ask that, and I have no answer to it. No idea.
There's not a lot of nipple drawings, to be honest with you, as I'm looking at this. So
we'll also look at Disney movies. None of those guys have nipples.
I mean, they don't have genitals in Disney movies, but...
Yeah, but like Aladdin, nippleless. He's shirtless like the entire movie.
Technically, he's covered, right? Because he's wearing the vest.
Yeah, but...
Is King Triton, does he not have nipples? They're shirtless.
I thought he was... Oh, he had those one nipples that are like curly
Or
kids.
does like his hair cover it the whole time? No, he's got
no.
nipples. You can
He
see
does?
him. Yeah.
Okay.
What is what does Artemis say? About to blast my nips
Gonna
at
blast my
the.
nips.
That's King
Yeah.
Triton's blasting his nips right here.
Yeah. So is Prince Valiant apparently blasting nips since 2014.
Oh yeah, here's big areola. King Triton.
Send it. What? What did you...
Nothing. We just were like, we were trying to have a really intense, like thoughtful discussion about like, the function of art and like justice and First Amendment. And then 30 seconds later, we're like, look at King Triton's gigantic nipples.
I want to see some huge cartoon areolas now.
Yeah.
Stat. Are you sending them to me or do I need to look it up
yes,
myself?
I'll send them to you. Sorry, I lost the page. I have to go back to it.
No, I can look up King Triton areolas.
No, but there's
Hold
a specific drawing here that I think you need to look at so that, the podcast can continue.
He's got pepperoni nipples.
But not big pepperonis, like the little cup, the ones that
like,
cup and like curl up now.
Curl up into a cup, and hold all the oil. Yeah, he's got
pepperoni cup nipples.
Man, I love this episode. Here's the thing about this: there's not enough blood and severed limbs for me to like it. So
not enough blood. We had the HIV-infected blood of Christ in a cup that a priest who had cut off legs.
King Triton doesn't have enough blood on him.
Oh, I see. Well, the blood dissipates in the water. You can't really see it. Is the problem.
Right.
Anyway, if you also have an email that you'd like to send us, please send it to 500opentabs@gmail.com. That's 500. You can find us on Instagram, 500opentabs, as well as Blue Sky. I'm at PermaFriends on Instagram and Kavachaharian on Blue Sky. Hannah.
I'm at Hannah Hillam on everything.
Hannah Hillam on everything.
Don't forget, we're going to be in an Oakland Comic Con in a month.
Yeah.
Is it still too early? I think it's not too early.
No, we'll just mention it and everyone's going to forget and then they'll listen to it later. So yes. I believe it's May 9th and 10th, whatever that weekend is, that Saturday and Sunday. We're going to be at Oakland Comic Con, our
with a
hometown
bunch of people.
show.
Like a lot of people are going to be there.
Jordan's going to be there. Jordan Morris.
Yeah.
That's the only person I can think of right now is Jordan Morris. I've forgotten everybody else.
Had a good idea.
Okay. I think I know what your idea is. Mind meld. It's about pepperoni nipples, I assume.
It is. I'm going to get mine surgically replaced to be able to curl up when I get in an oven.
King Triton. Perfect. Also, we have a Discord. You should join that. We have a Patreon where we have exclusives. You can get our episodes a week early. We also have outtakes from some of our episodes. Yes, ad-free as well.
We also have discussions that are like tangent discussions that we're going to be putting more of because we do go on a lot of tangents.
Yes. But thank you to everybody for listening. Hannah, is there anything else you wanted to say before we close out?
No, just remember the censorship and just don't do that. How's that?
Just don't do that.
Just remember that it's not. Don't believe all the fascists. I'm tired, dude. I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you want to say? Free Iran.
Free Iran. Keep the people of Iran in your hearts.
You would close us out because I'm stumbling.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Free Iran. Hannah, I'll see you at the Dickie Nixie toilet shitting. I don't know. I've lost the thread. Listen, this year's been stressful.
Blood.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a sign off anymore other than Free Iran. I'm sorry.
Free Iran, dude. Also, just like, who expects us to remember what we say yesterday? Stop holding us to such high standards, everybody. Do you think I remember which Dickie Nixie pool party I shat at last?
That's a great t-shirt. Do you think I remember which Dickie Nixie pool party I shat at last?
Ableism is what it is. You guys are just expecting me to know.
No. I'll see you at the Firehorse Coven cauldron party.
Cauldron?
Cauldron. You know the big cauldron that they... Cauldron?
Cauldron.
Cauldron. Sorry.
What are you, British? Cauldron?
Cauldron.
I'll see you at the cauldron. Okay, well,
see
bye.
You at the cauldron. Okay.
We have to end this.
Yes. See you guys next week. Bye.
With so many options, why choose Arizona State University?
For me, the only online option was ASU because of the quality. Their faculty was really involved with their students and care about your personal journey. The dedication to my personal development from my professors, that's been extremely valuable to me.
Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Explore more than 350 plus undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.